You want to see something pretty neat? You see this little Samsung motor, right? It's currently sitting on this piece of cardboard with, you know, this thing on it, on there for something else. But anyway, you see it's there and it spins freely and all that, which is very nice, by the way. Nice wind down. You see this fan blade, right? This fan blade and this thing both are, like, this is an 8mm shaft, and this is also has an 8mm shaft hole on it. So if I line the D shaft on it, it fits, and it does spin. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be testing this fan blade on this little Samsung motor, which I do not know the name, but I do know it's a 255 watt motor, which is one of the most powerful Samsung motors, at least of the size that is made. So we're going to see how fast it gets going, although I know it's going to slow down the motor a lot because these motors run at about 3,500 RPM no load, and with this giant fan blade, which is definitely too big for this tiny little motor, it's probably going to slip it down to like around 2,000, which when you slow down a motor that much, it can cause overheating, and I don't know, just it can cause it to get hot pretty quick. So we're gonna be testing that. I did test this on this Maytag motor a long time ago, and it barely got it going. So, but this is also, I believe, like 190 watt. No, not like 190 watt. This is like, so it's like in the hundreds region of watts. This is 255, so it's a lot more powerful. You can also tell by the middle of the motor is a lot more thicker too. This is freaking thin as hell. This is thick, so it's got more oomph to it. And I have this tissue, which I'm going to be putting above it to show you how much air it actually moves, which with how efficient this fan blade is, it's going to be moving a lot of air. You can probably also see my curtains over there. It's going to be, I'll pan the camera over there to show you in a second. So yeah, we're going to give it a test, and we're going to see how quick it gets going, although I don't think it's going to go very quick. But anyway, it does work and all that. And this is 12 total UF capacitance. This is a 6, that's also a 6, and it's plugged directly into 120 in a very janky setup on the power strip, but that does not matter as long as it works, which it does work. That's all that matters. So let's give it a test. And there's nothing on the bottom shaft too. It's probably can't even see it in there. There's nothing in the shaft down there, just to give you the notice. But yeah, here we go. Likes to move this thing down here. I don't know, it almost just ate the tissue. Look at my curtains. It's pretty nuts. Yeah, it's moving. Look at that. That's moving a lot of air. Although it is slipping a lot. Like, that's a lot of load. Tiny little motor. Oh yeah, it's getting pretty warm. And that thing is not balanced very well either. This thing is vibrating a lot. You can also see right there, it's like, it moves. Yeah, look at that. That was a lot of slippage. A lot of load on that motor. Definitely not made for that much air drag, but you know, it works. And that's pretty nuts. You can tell by the hub is not very centered at all either. That's what happens when you mass produce stuff. You don't get very balanced stuff. But yeah, that's basically testing a giant freaking fan blade on a Samsung motor that is a 250 watt model. I don't know what the name is. There's a name for it. I don't know. But it's a 255 watt. And that's all I know. So yeah, that's basically it for this video. I'm going to quickly shift this tape over so it doesn't like move this way, and I'll test it again, and then I'll put my phone above it too so you can gauge the air drag. But yeah, all right, I just shifted the thing back a little bit, and I added a new strand of tape so this thing doesn't shift off to the right anymore. And I just felt the motor after that little test, and it is pretty dang hot. So yeah, that's what I was saying. If you slow down a motor like that much, it can cause a lot of overheating and whatnot. So yeah, I give it another test here and stuff. So here we go. Not balanced, so you can see how badly it freaking vibrates. But yeah, here we go. It's moving a lot of air. That's as fast as it's going. I don't even know what speed this is running, but it's not running very quick. Maybe like 2,000 RPM, maybe less, because that's moving a lot of air. You have to trust me on that. That's a lot of air. That's what happens when you slip a, or put too much load on a 3450 motor. But yeah, that's basically what happens when you put a Samsung motor on a big fan blade like this. If I have any other fan blades that are 8mm shafts that would fit on here, then I'll try testing with that. But yeah, that is the test on this giant fan blade on a little 255 watt Samsung motor and stuff. So yeah, let's wait for it to wind down and that'll be the end of the video. Now, I don't remember what fan this blade was actually on. I think it was actually on one of those Holmes fans. I don't know, though. I haven't actually, like, seen this fan fully together in, like, 3 years, so I don't know. I believe I actually made a video on the fan when it was actually still a thing. I don't know. That was a long time ago. And this thing also does have really good bearings, which is why it's winding down so good. This is actually the motor for the Mini. It's TH10, if you're wondering. And scanner is being loud, but yeah, that's the test on this thing. So yeah, it's basically it for this pointless test video. So yeah, peace out.